All right, aloha everyone. My name is Kimo Alameda. I'm an executive assistant with Mayor Kimo Alameda, and it's the honor of my lifetime to invite you folks to the Honorable Dr. Kimo Alameda's 2025 inaugural State of the County address. Mahalo for being here. Thank you guys. We'll begin this auspicious event with Oli and Protocol. I'd like to call up our Director of the Department of Research and Development, Mr. Benson Medina.
Aloha e ala aloha pele.
He's here. Mahalo, Director Medina. Now I'd like to welcome up to the stage Desiree Moana Cruz, who will sing the Star Spangled Banner and Hawaii Pono'i. If you take a look on the back of your programs, there are the lyrics to Hawaii Pono'i. Please sing them loudly and proudly. Yes. And then whichever one. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. Craig, she can use this mic. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Aloha.
Hey, Des.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Hawaii Pono'i Nana'i Komo'i Kalani ali'i ke ali'i Makualani e kameha meha e nakawa e pale me ka ihe Hawaii Pono'i Nana'i nali'i Napua komuli Napoki'i Makualani e kameha meha e nakawa pale me ka ihe Hawaii pono I e ka lahui e o ka uhana nui e ui e Makualani e ka meha e na kaua e pale me ka ihe.
Mahalo, Desiree Moana Cruz. How beautiful to hear Hawaii Pono'i entirely and not just one verse. Mahalo so much, Desiree. Up next, we're so honored to have Ohana here with us to provide invocation. Now I'd like to call up Uncle Pua Ishibashi. Uncle.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for all the many blessings that we have, for our health and strength, and for the blessing to be able to live in this great country, in this great state, and to live on Moku o Ke'awe. We're grateful for Kimo and his team and all the great work that they have done and have begun in the last 4 months. And we look forward to the great works that Kimo will bring forth in his coming 4-year term. We ask thee to bless Kimo, his team, and all of our elected officers, that they might have thy guidance and inspiration and wisdom as they work to move the county of Hawaii and Moku o Ke'awe forward for the betterment of current and future generations. We especially ask thee to bless Kimo, that he might have strength and humility, and to fill his heart, with love for the people of Hawaii that he serves. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Mahalo, Uncle Pua. I now have the privilege to introduce one of the greatest leaders that I've had the privilege to work for. And he's not just our managing director, right? But he's a local boy, born and raised on this island, who understands the needs, the emotions, the challenges, and most importantly, the opportunities of Hawaii Island's people. So it is my honor to introduce you to William V. Brohante Jr., the managing director of the County of Hawaii.
That was much too kind an introduction. When I was asked to give the introductions today, I reminisced back to 2 weeks ago. We were sitting in Mayor Alameda's office, and the BIF director called and asked if Mayor Alameda could do the inaugural coin flip for the women's flag football championship, first time in the history of high school athletics. And so, unfortunately, Mayor Alameda has a prior engagement. So he said, "Bill, can you cover?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I go take care." He goes, "But one request, no limp across the field out to the 50-yard line. Run out with your chest big and tall." So I said, "Oh, okay." So I just visualized Mayor Blangiardi running through the rainbow huddle in his football days. So with that, I'm going to sneak through the side over here instead of walking across the stage. But anyway, going forward, first, thank you, everybody, for being here. It's an honor and a privilege, not just for us and for the Mayor Alameda and our administration to present the state of the county address to you, but it's our privilege to engage in your company and to have you take time out of your day, each and every one of you, to come here and spend this brief afternoon with us and to engage in, our presentation, as well as to partake in a meal together. Because as we know historically, that's the best way to ingratiate ourselves to each other, is to share a meal. And that's what we're very hopeful, and we're very pleased to be able to offer this opportunity together. So moving forward, I'd like to recognize some very special guests who came off island, some very special dignitaries. First and foremost, we'd like to recognize Sylvia Luke, Governor Josh Green's Lieutenant Governor. Secondly, I alluded to him earlier, from the city and county of Honolulu, Mayor Belangiardi. As well as his staff, Mr. Han and Mr. Hummel, on the table. Also, Andy Sugg from the city and county of Honolulu. Representative from Senator Brian Schatz's office, Ms. Dale Han. From the county of Kauai, Mayor Derek Kawakami. Somebody who's been an incredible asset to me, Kauai's Managing Director, Ms. Reiko Matsuyama. Kauai Chief of Staff, Sarah Blaine. Representing the island of Maui and Mayor Bisson is Maui Director of Communication and Government Affairs, Laxmi Abraham. From Senator Mazie Hirono's office, Ann Ibesuno. Of course, Kai Kahele from the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. And finally, we have a very special guest from the Honolulu Consul General of Japan, Mr. Kodama Yoshinori. And also Council Chair Holeka Inaba. We just had the pleasure of spending the morning with the county council, so if we look all bus up, that's their fault. But anyway, when we were running this campaign, we heard often from the previous administration, because we were the candidate, Dr. Alameda was the candidate of change. And the previous administration kept pounding on the fact that change is not good. And we're like, why isn't change good? He said, and they would say, because there's a learning curve. If you go with change, it's going to take too long for these guys to figure out what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do it. So with that, I'd just like to say, booyah! That's only 4 months. We got at least 3 years and 8 months left. And then another 4 after that. You know, if I didn't specifically recognize you this morning, I'd just like to borrow a phrase from one of our esteemed guests today, Mr. Toby Taniguchi. And just so that you know, you are always someone special at the County of Hawaii. So thank you. So everyone, give yourselves applause. And I know you didn't come here to hear me talk. I can guarantee that. So anyway, without any further ado, the best mayor that we can ever remember here, County of Hawaii, working the hardest, Mayor Kimo Alameda.
Wow. Sound effects, everything. Oh, such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. Wow. Can we start off the greeting like we did in the old days? Aloha. You know, I'm so privileged and honored to be here. And, you know, thank you for the introductions of our dignitaries, but I also like introduce my family. So right off the bat, my dad, Sam Alameda Sr. Thank you, Dad, for being here. And I got my two sisters, Charmaine and Shante. Thank you for being here. You know, I have 7 children, so, you know, when you get plenty of kids, at least one gonna always represent us. So, Kira, thank you for being here. And from my wife's side, you know, you heard my brother-in-law give the prayer, but I'd like to introduce my my mother-in-law, Mona Ishibashi. Thank you. And Gloria. It's been, like I said, an honor and a privilege to be working for you folks this past 4 months. And it's super, super exciting when you get on a really awesome team. And so, you know, that's most of it right there. But our team extends beyond the county. So I'll give a special love to all the nonprofits out there. Nonprofits, thank you so much. Nonprofits, you guys rock. Okay, I appreciate you folks. And then you get the chambers and the rotaries and the clubs, you know, that partner with government to make things flow. Because we know it's hard without the nonprofits, it's hard without the chambers, the rotaries, the clubs, the volunteers. So a big round of applause for them as well. Thank you. And so I'm so privileged and honored to be able to deliver this 2025 State of the County address. And we're going to talk about the progress made. We're going to talk about some challenges, because we do have some challenges. But I also share with you some steps on how to overcome them. Okay, but I got to tell you, best start ever. Best start ever. I got it right? You heard it. Best start ever. Okay, and it is true. The opposition said that, you know, this new administration, they're not going to get off the ground running. Oh, my goodness. We've done so much in 4 months, more than some administrations have done in 4 years. Okay, we're not running, you guys. We're flying. Yes. We're flying, guys. Come on now. Sorry, that's one of my favorite tracks, so I got to play them twice. No, you know, and it's like the little things, right? That's what we've done in the last, it's just the little things. Like, let me just share, like Kawamoto swimming pool. So that pool was out for a year before we started. And there was like, hey, how are we going to fix them? You know, so how are we going to fix them? We just bring everybody together. What's the problem? Create some action steps and just stay on them. And most recently, never have hot water, right? People was freezing. I can imagine coming out of the shower, you know, and going into something that's super cold. So that was like right off the bat, right? Second week on the job, Kuwava. Hey, get 14 homeless families. What are we going to do? Hey, let's bring our homeless task force together. Find housing for them with the nonprofits, right? Country Club closed down. Before they closed down, I said, HOA, let us find homes for 21 of those families. And we did that too. This is second, third week already. Okay, but not just that. We know we had to have some major settlements. The big one was Kealakekee wastewater. I'm glad that settled. But also settling with our county workers. Settling with our county workers. Right? Shopo, fire, UPW, HGA. You know, that was lingering. I was like, hey, before the state of the county, we got to settle so I can put them up on the slide. And we did that. But also, we know we get wastewater challenges, Keokaha, right? So we immediately addressed that by an emergency proclamation. And thank you, Governor's Office, for acknowledging it. So if something go wrong, you know, we can respond immediately. And we have a plan, and that's already in place. Okay, but not just that, we also had to go to Kohala because they were saying, hey, our lights, 4 years, no more lights. For 4 years, no more lights. Took us 4 weeks to get it. Because, right? And then, hey, you cannot play baseball in the dark. They're so happy with their lights. They got their pool, okay? And we paving roads all over the place. We did more paving in 4 months than I think anybody's done in a year. Mr. Azevedo. But we're also paving places that has really been neglected. Like, take it down to Old Days in Kona. So Maka'eo Pavilion, that area hasn't had paving for potholes, everything. Kona is so happy now. West Hawaii, South and East and the West Side and the North is so happy because now we get geographic balance. They see it, right? Because we tend to be East Hawaii centric. And we're moving and we're spreading the love, okay? So this is a project just completed, I like to say, right at the edge of completion. That's parking at the South Park, Clarence Lum 1 Park. Football games, baseball games, people was parking on other people's yards, in their driveways. Hey, the tow companies was making a killing, okay? We added about 100 stalls right there. And that's, again, not even in the 4 months. That was 10 years in the making. See what I mean? Come on now. We added backstops in Waimea, benches in Waimea. This bench project, you ask him, 10 years in the making. When Kinoi left the administration, he wanted to put in these benches for Kupuna who was walking around in Waimea. Once in a while, they're tired, they like, sit down. No more no place for sit. So somebody said the creative idea, let's create benches with a private-public partnership. Oh, right on. We got all the private guys, they say yes. Carpenters, everything. Stall. Corp counsel don't like take say, hey, you don't like take liability, you know, because if something happened. So we got in, Bill's an attorney, I said, Bill, this benches, not bridges, okay? I don't think anything gonna happen. He said, Kimo, you're absolutely correct. Let's get those benches completed. And sure enough, done, okay? We are an administration of yes. We say yes, you can, right? We say yes first. If it's no, I say that impossible, we address immediately. The difficult take us a little bit longer, but it all gets done sooner or later, right? So we're not power yet. So this Saturday, we're going back to Ali'i Drive. I don't know, you guys drive down Palani, you know, it's a two-way. Well, businesses asking for parking. So I thought our administration came up with a creative idea. They said, how about we make them one way? So that the other way, parking all by the businesses. We just added 60 parking stalls, just by a thought. Thank you very much. And so this Saturday we present the charrette, and hopefully everybody agrees to it, which we already did some pre-work, and 100% said that's a great idea. But not power yet. 2 weeks, we're going to go up to the call center, and we're going to bless that baby. Right? And it's like the prior administration was struggling to get to the touchdown, struggling to get to the end zone. Sometimes it's not a matter how you start, matter how you finish. So we got to finish. So it's opening pretty soon. Okay? I talking within the next month or so. The temporary fire station, so we had Central Fire Station, cement was falling from the ceiling, 600 pounds. Right? County council was worried. I was reading the paper. I said, if we get elected and we make this happen, that's one of the first things we got to do, get those firefighters out of that building. So we had a negotiation with the Yamada building, somehow was stalled. Some kind of excuse like, oh, the fire alarm wasn't working. You're in one fire station. Okay, I don't think they're going to put an alarm if something's happening. I think they're just going to solve the problem. They might bypass that step, let me say. Okay? Let's just move already. Time is of essence in this situation. What's more worse, the cement falling? So we moved on that and we're ready for make that blessing as well. These are things that are just happening just cause. Right? Then we go back to had on container with playground equipment inside in Waikoloa for like 3 years. We went there and now we did our part and now the community can go take that out because the deal was we fix them up, you put them together. Perfect. Now we're waiting for them to put them together. They was calling us. How come we're taking so long? Now we're calling them. How come you're taking so long? And I also like to share with you that, one concern was public safety. Well, we had our storm and we weathered it well. Thank you, Talmadge. Right? We all meet up at the EOC and we was able to alleviate some of the concerns by just good communication. And so we do have a very strong public safety core. And I think the core of all of our, responsibilities is public safety. So our chief, big round of applause for our chief, Kazuo Todd, everybody. Thank you, chief. Hey, we got four new ambulances. 4 new ambulances 2 weeks ago. We're working on a brand new helicopter ambulance. This is one helicopter, like one ambulance is combined. It's unbelievable. It's like the only one in the state. Okay, so that's coming our way with the gracious support of the Sarah Foundation. Thank you so much. And all the hard work. Right, so our island's big. You get an accident in Puna or, South Kona, I mean, we can send a helicopter, but that helicopter going to bring the patient back, then they got to go to the airport, and then no. They talk about the golden hour. We only get 1 hour most times for save somebody's life. So we got this helicopter that can pick the person up, right, and take them, because it's a double engine, can take them to Queens Hospital and land on top of the roof, and emergency care can be provided immediately. This helicopter can go inter-island. Thank you. Okay? Wow. That's saving lives right there. So topping off our public safety, we made some news, but I don't care about that. But hey, so fire mitigation is always a concern. And we had 14 talk stories scheduled. We already finished 7. So every place we go, they're like, no, fire hydrants, does it work? You got to check with the homeowners association. We can check too, but it's a community effort. How about fire breaks? Can help with that. How about the reservoir? Get water. Well, got to check. How about dip tanks? Work. Well, how about the fire alarm? Here you go. Yeah, okay. How about then we ask the homeowner, how about your house? Did you do your home assessment? Trees next to the house, that's not good. Right? So there's a checklist. So let's all do it together. And that's how we're going to protect our community on the fire side. I'm equally proud of our police department, who keep us safe every single day. Big round of applause for Chief Motzkowitz. He's around. Our recent incident, and we have situations here like every other county, but I'm so proud of our police department. They come together, especially in times of need. Thank you, police. I gotta share with you our civil defense, my opinion, best in the nation. Best in the nation, headed up by Director Talmadge Magno. Big round of applause. Talmadge, thank you. Just so you know, when there's an issue, it can be wind, rain, volcano, tsunami, fire, we all report to the EOC. Not 1 or 2, all departments and our partners. I give a little intro, Talmadge takes the lead. And we working together. And I've witnessed that and it was amazing. Thank you so much. We also have animal control, Matt Reynolds, animal control, public safety. We also get liquor control. Okay, liquor control. Where's our guy? Gerald Takasi, here. Gerald, thank you. I see that as public safety, right? And also, last but not least, on the public safety side, our dear prosecutor, Kelden Walgen. Kelden, thank you. So while I'm at it, I'm also introduce our staff. So we are broken up into pods. That's public safety. We also have an awesome building infrastructure pod, if you will. Okay, headed up by, our planning director right now is defending his budget, Jeff Darrow. Okay, he's defending his budget right now. But give it up for Neil Azevedo, our acting director for Public Works, everybody. Thank you, Neil. All right. And then we have our environmental management. You know, it's a tough department. They got to handle wastewater. They got to handle the landfills. Give it up for Wes Sigawa. Where are you, Wes? Thank you, Wes. And then, hey, water everywhere. You guys remember that? No. Let's give it up for our water department, Keith Okamoto, everybody. So that's building, right? And then we get departments that provide services. Parks and Recreation. That's one big department. Okay, a lot of our funds go to that department because we need recreation. Our director over there, Clayton Hanma and Melissa, thank you. Parks and Recreation. Yes, and then we get housing, and she's defending her budget too. And transportation, we got Zach over here acting. Thank you, Zach. Yes. And then we have departments that help other departments, like my managing director, Bill Brahante, and my deputy managing director. Where you are, you Marek Nishimoto? Marek, thank you. Right? They help other departments. And then I have a bunch of EAs. Too much to name, but can we give them a big round of applause? Thank you. And of course, we have our HR. Summer, where are you? Thank you, HR. They help with our hiring. We got our economic development, Benson Medina. Thank you, Benson. We got our environmental sustainability, Laura Acasio. Thank you, Laura. And then we got our IT, because, you know, IT, Corey. Thank you, Corey Stone. And we cannot forget our finance department, Diane Nakagawa, who's presenting the budget. You know? So a big round of applause for her, too. So speaking of the budget real quick, so we have a budget that is basically equal to our revenues. This time it's $937 million. Okay, and it's only 1.8% greater than last year's budget. So I asked Diane, I said, some small letter increase. Usually 5%, 6%. She said, no, it's the smallest in 5 years. I said, I think it's the smallest increase ever. Did you check beyond 5 years? She said, not yet, but I think you're right. So we're gonna have to tighten up a little bit. Okay, it's not a big increase from last year, right? Most of these funds coming from taxes, 660 million straight from taxes. And 80% is property taxes, okay? There's some other taxes. 20% is from GET and TAT and, you know, fuel tax. But property taxes, okay? And then there's grants, right? So I said, oh no, grants, what's up with the federal government? They might cut all of our close to $100 million grants. So I said, could you look into that? She said, no, not too bad, 56% only from the feds. And that 56%, how much is housing? About 45%. I said, they cannot cut our Section 8. No way, that would be too mean. But, you know, they've been kind of mean right now, so who knows? But we're ready for that. Okay, so basically, you add all this up, you come to 937 million. But, of course, we get expenditures. Okay, half of that is salary and wages, pays for our salary and wages. But if you break them up by topics, public safety, again, they say, hey, if you like check your value system, just look at how you spend the money. So we spend them on public safety, over $230 million. That's the biggest chunk of change right there. Civil defense, fire, police, animal control, you name it. Everything to protect our public, that money goes there. Okay, and then there's other expenditures, pension, retirement. Okay, we like make sure that that's good for you folks. You earned it, right? Government, basic services, parks and recreation and such. Okay, so we've basically, like, the county is kind of like a nonprofit. You cannot show profit, and you cannot be in the red. So you got to balance that baby perfect. And in fact, by law, you got to balance them. So what do we have left to spend then? Well, what are our challenges? Okay, the biggest challenge right now we face is this wastewater obligation. This wastewater obligation it keeps me up at night. Okay, you see the yellow? That's like every year we spend about $50 million on projects. Can go wastewater, parks. Well, here comes our wastewater project. That's red, that's Kelkaha. The neglect over 30 years. right? So now we got to spend $337 million in fixing that. And we just signed the contract and that's ready to go. But that's bonds. This is like borrowing. This is like a big loan. So, right, because we don't have the money. You just saw it. It all just evened out. So we got to go get bonds. Okay, and then the blue is our other wastewater commitments. Kealakehe wastewater. Pahala and Alehu wastewater. Okay, Pepekio Paipeko wastewater. And it's not even talking about the transition from cesspool to septic. So we're going to need federal help. Okay, I don't know how to put them in a nice paper or whatever, but we'll surely get it to the feds to help us with this. Because we cannot do it ourselves, because right now we're borrowing. And as you can see, you know, our debt service is about $80 million a year. We pay our bills. $80 million got to go to our bills. Some of it is the loans that we're borrowing for 20 years. So when you borrow from the, you know, like the investors, they give you 20 years for paying back. So we're currently paying back from like Harry Kim's second term, 20 years. You know, and somebody's going to be paying back our 20 years. But so that's how it all plays out. But you know, like the debt service go too much. 80 mil is okay. Because if you can keep it under 10% of your budget, that's fiscally sound. So right now we're still doing good actually. So we're going to get revenues of $1 billion. We're still under 100 million in bills, which is pretty good. Okay, so not too bad. So we're keeping an eye on that. All right. But we do have a fund balance from positions that not filled. So you get positions that not filled. Hey, we got about $20 million. So let's work it. Because what I told the budget today, the county council, I said, it's not so much how much money we make, it's how hard we work. Because our workforce, they're inspired. They're super inspired. Look how much we've done in 4 months with zero budget. Well, you know, the pavement costs money, but I'm talking labor, right? Because we inspired. People wondering if we had extra grants. Say, Kimo, you got all these extra grants. No, we never get it. How come everything's getting done all of a sudden? How you got the lights on? How you got roads paved? How you fixed the pool? How you made the benches? I said, there's just an inspired workforce. That's all that is. You know, people working together and we get volunteers like we've never had before. You know how many people like be friends of the park all of a sudden? Come on. We love friends of the park. So I like Hilo people know we're going to fix that skate park. We're going to put money into that skate park because there's different forms of recreation because we need recreation. Public safety important, true story. But kids got to get out of their house. Okay? We got to fix that gym at Koananakoa in Kilkaa. We're working with Oha on that and Chris Todd on that. That's a big chunk of change. We cannot do it all, but we can partner. Right? We're fixing the lights in Pahala. We already fixed the lights in Kohala. Why not Pahala? They rhyme. No, it's okay. Multi-purpose play courts. Recreation. A lot of these things is just surfacing. Just surface, resurface. We're going to resurface 7 parks. Resurface them. Make them look nice. We was down Middle E. We're going to not just resurface the park, we're going to do them all over again. Promises made to the Hawaiians down there has been too long that the promise is unfulfilled. So we're going to fix their park. We're going to fix their bathrooms. We're going to give them a playground. And we're going to give them a brand new pavilion because they deserve it. Thank you. And of course, you know, I'm always looking for places to make better. And we have an awesome team, and they bring ideas to us. But they always ask, how are we going to sustain our economy then? Well, I can tell you real quick, here's our 5 pillars. So just pretend you're in tourists, because tourism is the biggest economic driver. But we know we got to look elsewhere, right? So we get alternative energy options. Okay, we can generate revenue there, right? We can look at ag and generate revenues there. Okay, we can generate revenues from TMT. If you like build that baby on that mountain, some got to come back to the county. Okay, hey, Puakalo, you like extend your lease. Some got to come back to the county. Okay, yeah, you can give some to the state because, you know, but we can share. We can share. So we got to look for additional revenues. But since tourism is the biggest economic driver, let's make sure that we don't break that bridge. So how are we going to sustain that? Well, pretend you're a tourist. Close your eyes, you're on the plane. Well, first you got to get on the plane, so you're making your reservations, but no more direct flights. to Hilo, you got to go Honolulu. And if you're a Japanese tourist, no more direct flights either now. Not to Hilo and not to Kona, because the runway is too short. Okay? Or, right? Because they got to fix it. And now it's too short. So now they got to fix it. So I'm like, fix it. Please, state, fix it. Because that's how it all starts. People got to land. That's car, you know. Okay? You got to land the plane. But then they land. Where they going to go? So they land. Hilo, where they go? Can I go Banyan Drive? No more hotels. Okay? Where they going to go? So we need an hotel. We got to invest. Right? But then if they find one hotel need workers. Our workforce. So we need our workforce. But we know it's hard to have a workforce because our workforce need housing. But housing is too expensive. So what we need then? Well, we need construction workers, right? We need to get those permits out. So we need good permitting. Okay, so we need that. Right, so it's all connected. And once we have good permitting, then we can tell our construction industry to go. No scared, go get them. Build those houses. Yes, we have a supply problem. Give us more houses. Okay? But it all starts here. It's all connected. That's why we all got to work together. And above and beyond that, we also got to stay healthy. Because health is everything and health is everywhere. And I've been trying to stay healthy. You know, this is all muscle. It's all muscle. I'm just saying. It's very difficult to push this out every day. Just push on. Okay? We're working on it. But health is everything. And it is true. I tell my directors, family first. Well, your health is first and your family is right up there. So we're all engaging in good health. And let us continue to engage in good health. Let us continue to foster this camaraderie that we have between districts. Because I believe we're not divided by our districts. We're actually united by our love for each district and our love for each other. And that's how I look at this island. I look at this island as just one big, huge family. Right? Everybody matter to me and to our team. And so we're working as if you are a brother and sister, as if you are grandma and grandpa, as if you're a cousin. Everybody related, everybody matter. And that's how we've been treating everybody since day one. And that's been a big, big difference, I think. So let us move forward. Let us be positive. Here's a quote that I use to set me straight. The past is over for all of us, and the future is promised to none of us. So what do we get then? All we get is today. Today is all we get. When you talk about life, life to me is today. Today is life. We don't know tomorrow. I don't dwell too much in the negative. But I give everything I can give every single day I get up. And I give them 100%. And if we do that every single day, then days come weeks, weeks come months, years come. We'll be in an unbelievable place. But we got to stay healthy. Okay? And let me just end with this. The shaka. Some people wonder, how come the double shaka? Well, first, one shaka not enough, okay? In these turbulent times, you got to shaka twice. All right? And our shaka stand for something. That means save Hawaii and keep aloha. And keep aloha. The shaka. So, we're going to be okay. We're going to be all right. We got an awesome team. And like Bob Marley said himself, no worry, everybody. Because every little thing's going to be all right. Come on now. Body thing. Yes, yes. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day. Aloha.
Mahalo, Mayor Kimo. Keep clapping your hands for this native Hawaiian, born and raised. Mahalo, mahalo everybody for sticking around. We're so blessed to have these two humble artists here with us to help us celebrate this occasion. You know, we're less than 2 weeks away from Merry Monarch with this beautiful music. Yeah, right. Ilihia Johnson. We have the big festival that's on our heels. So I think we should sing maybe Mohala Kahinano, yeah, composed by Uncle Johnny Lamho. Beautiful song. I'm thinking, do we have any dancers in the audience? Yeah, I see one. Aaron Samura, I see one. Aaron Samura, Maikai. Right? So this mele, Mohala Kahinano, recalls the hala groves and the fragrant hinano blossoms of Kehena Puna and the beautiful hala tree. Aaron Kanani Samura will reenact this beautiful mele composed by Uncle Johnny Lum Ho. Can we please get a round of applause for Aaron Samura?
Oh, solo. Come up on the stage, get room. Okay. Mohala.
Mahalo, mahalo. Can we get a hana ho? Can we get a hana ho? Hana ho!
Hana ho, hana ho.
Oh man. You know, I just gotta share real quick how proud we are of these wahine. These wahine are County of Hawaii employees. To my far right, we have Cristaline Pacheco from Department of Finance. We have Malia Aruda on her right from Department of Liquor Control. We have Aaron Samura from the Mayor's Office, Tiffany Wallace from Department of Environmental Management, and Kimmy Silva from Department of Finance. This hana ho is called Kauluwehi o ke kai. If you know it, please stand up where you are and join in. Mahalo.
He ho'oheno ke aku ke kahi mo wana nui la nui ke aloha e hoi nei ke ala o ka lehi moa. Oh yeah. E ho'oheno ke aku ke kahi moana nui la nui ke aloha e hiki po'i nei me ke aloha ka lihipoa e lihipo ai pai ke one hinu hinu la bela isla ka he'ea e mai mana e pono ke ia e lipo ai pai ke one hinu hinu la bela i kala ka hea e mai mana e pono ke ia o kohuko e salimu ko te tau i luna o na motulai o iha motula e ho ani ani o i anei O kohuko e talimu ko ke kau i luna o na motulai o iha motula e ho ani ani o i anei Haina mai ka puana ka lihipoa me ka limu ko hoa pili o e me ka pahe manoni me ka lipalu Haina mai ka puana ka lihipoa me ka limu ko hoa pili o e me ka pahe manoni me ka lipalu Come on!
Mahalo, ladies. Mahalo for representing the county of Hawaii. Mahalo, mahalo.